What's up, y'all? I'm Chris Hayes 508. This is On the Spot. Today we got a very special guest. Actually, we got guests that are part of a group. I want to, guys, introduce yourselves one by one. Tell us your name, where you're from, and what you guys got going on.
Yeah, you bet. Thank you so much. My name is Justin WIESINGER, and this is my beautiful wife and drummer.
I'm Chelsea.
And we live just south of a small town in Alberta, kind of like central Alberta, called Barhead, Alberta. We're at a little lake community, kind of just nestled in a little small area there called Birch Cove. So, yeah.
Absolutely. And as far as the music, what's out? Any new releases that people can check out? Anything you want to mention about the music?
Yeah, you bet. So last month in June, our Soft Pillow EP came out, which is the first kind of collection off of our upcoming album called Stuck in Your Head. But the Soft Pillow EP has 6 songs, and lots of them are just like a really kind of wide variety of like rap rock and pop rock and kind of like bubblegum pop and stuff, and a kind of a ballad kind of song. So a wide variety of music, but all with a kind of a same message of dealing with mental health and helping people process their pain in a healthy way and find community and connection. So that's what we're all about, and that's what the new album and the EP is about.
I said you guys have a very diverse group of music. It's very cool, and one of my favorite tracks is the Soft Pillow song. I was watching the lyric video on YouTube. So guys, I'm gonna put their names right down below. Go give them a follow, click the links, and support them like y'all want to be supported. And before we get started, I want to officially welcome both y'all to On the Spot. Thank you for coming through.
Thanks, Chris.
Thanks for having us. Love to be here.
Absolutely. And also, I want to find out about this group name, because I was a little bit unsure of how to say it or what it meant. So I just want everyone watching to know what this group name is. Tell the people again what the group name is, but also tell them who gave it to you, why did you choose it, what does it mean? Tell us the story behind your name.
Well, I like to joke that the name kind of just like, I didn't choose the life of a musician, it kind of chose me, because it's actually my dad's, our family last name, WIESINGER or WIESINGER. And the funny thing is, all of our family says it a bit differently, Chris. So it's like my grandma's like WIESINGER.
You shouldn't even confuse them.
The
with
German, yeah, I know. But I
stuff.
like WIESINGER. It's like, well, like kind of like why did you pick that, right? It's like, well, I'm a singer, and I thought it was really funny that my last name had the actual word singer in it. So it was kind of a really easy sell, right? So I thought it's kind of like, why music? It's because, you know, it's a part of my identity, you know, as a WIESINGER, my last name, but it's also now that we're married and we kind of started the band after we had gotten married and stuff. And I'd like to joke that our first song that I performed as WIESINGER was When She Walked Down the Aisle in 2020 in February at our small wedding at this cute little Airbnb. And yeah, WIESINGER is kind of an expression of like, why not, right? Like, why not sing? Why not help spread joy and positivity and community and connection and just positive vibes through our music? So that's why I thought it was a sticky name, and it's funny that it's my last name and our last name. So yeah.
That is very, I just feel like
hats here too. We got our WIESINGER embroidered on, so you can pick those up on our website. We actually have to add them to the store,
Yeah,
but
we got some cool
there's a
merch,
limited
things.
edition merch on our website, wiesingermusic.com. So yeah.
guys, check out the website. And for me, I just feel like it could have been an 80s metal band. It could have been a lot of different things. Like, I think that's just a really cool name. And now you guys know what it's about. And I want to find a little bit more about how this group came together. I know you kind of said after you got married, but also, I want to just clarify, what do you guys both contribute to this group? I want to start with Chelsea. Tell us what you do in the group. What's your part?
Okay, so I mean, when Jess and I first met, I said I'm a professional dabbler, and one of those things, I'm an accountant, so I like spreadsheets, Excel, and all that stuff, but I also said professional, like shaky egg player. I'm like, I'm great at the egg shakers. And you know, being humble, but all my life I've been involved with percussion, music, and I was really blessed because I had the kind of parents where all of a sudden a drum kit showed up at my house, and my mom was like, hey, get on the drum kit. So I know that's really, you know, not the usual scenario for people. So I've been playing different kinds of drums and percussion instruments for a long time, and so marrying Justin, it wasn't really part of band wasn't part of our relationship, our dating relationship, or music. so much. But it is really a big part of both of our stories through our life.
Because like we've all done, like I did early childhood music classes when I was like 2 years old. I played in like church bands in junior high, started our own pop punk, cover band of, like what's a Fall Out Boy and stuff like that, and like Sum 41 covers and stuff. We got asked to do our first show when I was in grade 12, and we piled ourselves into our music room for 2 weeks to get like 7 original songs written. I'm like, guys, like I agreed to do a show before knowing how soon it was, and I'm like, hey guys, I agreed. My youth pastor's we're opening for his band, so we got to get these songs written in 2 weeks. So that's all the time we have. So we got to write like 2 songs a day this week, and then we got to rehearse them and memorize them next week. And we did it, but it's kind of like you get to kind of rise to the occasion. Like the amount of time you have that you're given in your life is what you've been given to do something incredible. So you might as well take advantage of it, right? And one of the things I talked about is during COVID, I was doing lots of music videos prior to COVID and that weird season that we all experienced. And I was playing in bands earlier in my young adult years, but I got kind of so sick and tired of filming bands having fun on stage. And I'm like, I remember when I was in a band that broke up in my early 20s, and I really kind of missed that. And a part of me was dying inside. So I decided during COVID, when the whole world was shut down, is when I took it really seriously to say, what if I spend 5 or 10 hours a week just wholly devoted to my hobby of music? So that's kind of how the Wonder Love album came about. And that's how I kind of really coped with that hard time, that challenging mental health time of the loneliness and the isolation of just creating something beautiful to share with the world when that season ended, right? So, and through that season. So
that's, man, there's a lot to unpack there, but that is very cool. This is the first time I've had a married group on my show, so this is definitely breaking ground for On the Spot, and definitely for music, because just, people really need to check out the music, because I don't know, I just see it. You're like, I don't use this term too much, but I feel like there is some level of musical genius there that I can't quite put my finger on, because I started off as a producer, so I understand what I'm listening and what you're doing, and there's so many genres and so many melodies and so many things, and the songwriting behind it, it's all the graphic, everything is just so creative. So I just want to say I'm very impressed with both of you guys and what you guys are doing and brought together. And I feel like you guys both have so much experience in music, and I feel like it's only right to ask this question: that what is one piece of advice you guys would give to an upcoming artist that maybe would help them on their journey that you've learned on yours?
Mm-hmm. I hear the term tossed around a lot, Chris, is like find your team, right? Like if you're doing something like that, find your team. But I think another way to even elevate that term is find your family. And I think in a sense of like, before COVID, I was like, if I had to go through COVID without Chelsea, without my wife and my stepdaughters, she has 2 kids from a previous marriage. But if I had to go through that season alone without music and without that connection to our drummer, but my wife and stuff, and without that support group, I don't know if I'd even be here still, right? And having that outlet to really thrive in, I'm getting kind of torn up. But finding your family and finding friends I got to work with, like, we do Zoom calls from like a friend in Nashville recording songs, and we like made it work, whatever circumstance it was in. Like, okay, we got to shut down this week to whatever, but I would just like make a regular effort of like building connections and building community in the sense of, I just love collaborating, Chris. So like music for me is more about like building a tree fort that your friends can hang out with you in, right? So like kind of having all these little pockets in these songs are kind of like a way to create a story and a narrative around what you're going through, right? So I find like finding your family just means like, don't make the music all about you. Make it about like, the reason I do music is to get people to come together, right? And we've got to do lots of live shows, and seeing young kids just like rock out and dance for the first time. I'm just like, that's why I do this. It's not about like being a million streams into a song and like getting famous, but it's about creating connection and building community. So finding your family just means to me is like, I do music to like bring people together, because I know it's something that I really need, and I know it's something that we all really need, right? So
yeah, knowing your why is super important, and for us that definitely is it, where we've really been honing in on this thing about relationship and really what we want to be doing with the music, and even with the shows and with our community. And it did really start with our marriage, in that time when just all this music and these lyrics and these hooks and everything were just pouring out of Justin, right? And we have to just go for it. Like, it may not seem, a lot of people at this time might have a lot of excuses for why they can't, you know, be doing this stuff or what they really love. But
and I think like the back to the name thing, it's kind of like people are like, well, I can't use my voice to do something, or like voice being a hyperbole, like I can't use my gifting or my skill to bring change. But it's like, why not like sing? Like, why not sing? Why not build a, you know, build a company in this? Why not like build a charity? Why not like get outside of the comfort zone of your church and freaking go love people, right? Like, I grew up as in a very religious home, and also working at churches actually during COVID. And I was like dying, where I'm like, we just got to reach people and do something, and not just make it about like this fear and this, like the government, you know, saying we can do this, we can't do that. Like, I don't want to have an authority decide how I can live my life. And I want to like, and we were taught too that life can be so short and life is so valuable. It's like, why not give it all you got and see what happens? You know, like I have a song called Just Give Up, about not giving up. It's like, I already know what giving up feels like, you know, when I was in grade 7 in karate. Why I want to see what happens if I don't give up on sharing love through music and sharing joy and stuff. So that's kind of why I'm doing it.
I gotta clap, man. I just gotta. I gotta clap. I got the studio applause in the background. I had to really give it up for you. I really love how vulnerable you are and how you're sharing your story and your reason behind what you're doing. And I feel like this could be a much broader, longer, diverse conversation. But I also want to make sure we don't run out of time and we have a chance to talk about your music. So I want to, I guess, number one, you have so much material, and like Chelsea said, music's been pouring out of you, and you guys have been creating and collaborating, doing all these things. So where should people start? Like, is there like a popular song or a song that you really want everyone to listen to right now? What is the first song you would tell people to listen to? Where can they find it? What's the name of it? And what is the song about?
Yeah, I think the song that'll connect with literally everybody it's called FOMO. It's an acronym for like fear of missing out. Write a song, you know, we're a pretty noisy band, but like I want to be loud. I don't want to be noise. I want to be a message that's clear, but also that carries people into a story. So we hope that our songs carry people into the story of their lives, that they can be kind of get that jolt of energy, of inspiration to go do something remarkable too. So
have fun in a good way and listen to FOMO.
Listen to FOMO, FOMO.
Guys, I'm going to put their names right down below. Go give them a follow. Go check out the Wonder Love Project and everything else they got going on the YouTube. There's plenty of content. You guys will have a lot to listen to. And we have gone over a lot, and we only got about 30 seconds left, and I want to make sure we didn't miss anything. So before we go, is there any shout-outs you want to give or anything else you want to mention before we go?
Yeah, I want to give a shout-out to my brother Conch, who was our producer through much of Wonder Love and much of the Soft Pillow EP, as well as my producer Trey and my really good friend and producer Josh Sahunta. So they're all integral and just helping get these songs. And my buddy Dempsey, Trey's assistant, they're all amazing guys. So shout out to you guys. I'll tag you when I share this video. You guys are legends, and you really brought the joy, and like you brought my creative vision to life. So thank you guys. Couldn't have done it without you.
Yeah, collaborating gives us a lot of helps feed the energy.
And Drew Shaka, who produced Soft Pillow and some new songs you haven't heard yet. He's a legend too. Thank you, Drew.
Yeah.
Chelsea, anything you want to add before we go?
That's good. No, it's to our community, I guess, and all our collaborators. Like I was saying, Jess and I have a lot of energy between us, but really having the people and the support just really gives us that boost, especially when we're, you know, feeling down, because it can happen. So thank you to everyone out there that really helps give us that,
you give us that fuel and fire to keep going, and just those little messages saying, my kid's singing your songs, but while drawing crafts. I'm like, that does something to me, you know. That's crazy. Like a cappella just singing one of our songs. I'm like, that's crazy. So thank you for those messages and those buying our merch and just being our friends and our family, right? So
that is so true. You know, 1,000 likes looks cool, but you know, one person telling you how much your music means to them is really what it is all about. And I'm so glad you brought that to the attention of everyone watching. And again, WIESINGER, I want to thank y'all for both coming through to the interview. It was very nice to meet you, and I'll definitely stay locked in with you guys. All right.
Last thing, we have a Spice Girls cover dropping on Tuesday this week, Chris. Check out our YouTube, WIESINGER, all caps.
I had a chance to check it out, and I did enjoy, and I definitely see that opening up. Yeah, so like I said, there's so much you can do with the way you write songs and the music you guys are doing. There's a lot of avenues. So I love to see it. You guys, look out for that track. And also, I want to thank all y'all for tuning in. I got one favor to ask y'all. Press like, drop a comment, share this on your story. Go give them a follow. You already know what it is. I'm Chris H508. Let's go.